Okay, welcome back everybody, and hope there was something in the newspaper review for you there. We're on to something that I think is of huge interest to everybody listening into the show. Adem Ergen is from OneBill.ie. Adam's been on the show before. He will talk to us about helping households take control of electricity, gas, broadband and TV bills using real usage data and AI-driven comparison. So, Adam, you're really welcome on the show here this morning. Delighted that you can come and join us. Maybe just to kick off, Adam, since we saw you last, you gave us a quick introduction to OneBill.ie. How's business going with you?
Thank you for having me back, first of all. Much appreciated. Business is good. We've saved our customers over €1.5 million over the last year, so we're delighted with that. And as time goes on, we're grappling with the new changes in AI, as is everyone else, and we're using it to the advantage of our customers, hopefully, to save even more money.
Yeah, a lot of people have a fear of AI, and could this be something that could be quite big brother kind of feel to it, who's holding all this data for us, but you firmly believe that you can use it for good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, nowadays, if you're not using AI in a business context or even starting to become in a personal context, you are at risk of getting left behind. So in a business context, as long as you use the guardrails that AI, is able to facilitate for you, your data is pretty secure. So it's just about being knowledgeable about how you use that data. In particular with us, we rely on a methodology called human in the loop. So although we use AI to process data, to look at the numbers, we still use human intervention at the last step to make sure that the decisions made are correct.
So one of the bits of data we saw is 86% of people hate dealing with bills, and that can often be why it's cost them money.
Yeah.
Is there a degree of inertia, a bit of, oh God, not again, or I'll get around to that tomorrow?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the case. So many people, it's that as well as the fear of the unknown. People don't know what they're moving to, especially with smart rates, offers, cashbacks, and now coming into the market with like EVs, solar panels, batteries, all of these complexities that are building on just a standard 24-hour rate. People have the fear of doing something wrong as well. And then therefore just staying with the status quo seems to be the easier thing to do, but it's costing people thousands.
Is it really? I mean, if you take somebody who just ignores the end of a deal and just lets their bills run on, could you give any sense of what that's really costing?
30-40%.
Really?
Yeah.
That much?
Yeah, so it could be more than that as well, depending on if the usage are at the wrong times of the day, if the tariff isn't suitable for the usage profile of the customer. And in Ireland, we have smart meters, and they're becoming, pretty much everywhere now. So across residents and businesses. And the more and more they come out, it's more about getting the suitability of the tariff, the time of use tariff, to make sure that the time of day you're using your electricity is the cheapest. And then using technology to help you leverage those cheap times.
There is a bit of a one-size-fits-all approach taken out there, isn't there?
There is, and there shouldn't be, because the national average is extremely misleading and rare in terms of what it actually means and the way they calculate it. My house is definitely not the same as your house.
Okay.
So, we might use a similar amount of kilowatts, but I could use them at a completely different time of the day. I could have an electric car, you can have solar panels, completely different profiles. Therefore, we should not be on the same tariff.
And one of the ways in which working has changed has been more people working from home.
Yeah.
Has that had an impact on usage, when people use, how much they use, and so on?
Yeah, it has. So we've seen a good rise in people working from home. Therefore, their bills are increasing. But we also see things like companies paying for costs at home, paying for electric cars to be charged at home, as well as broadband bills being paid for by or helped to be expensed by the businesses that they work for. So these all add additional complexities into how the bills are maneuvered and how they're geared in the way that they're going to be best for the consumer. So building that picture and what we call the usage algorithm is what we then use to make sure that we're challenging the marketplace in the best way possible.
And it must be changing enormously with, nowadays, how many mobile phones could be in house when people have, teenagers, kids, whatever, how many, charging a car. and Siri and every other device that they have in the house as well. It must be huge in terms of consumption.
It is. And even little things like the timer being set wrong on a device that's using electricity could be accidentally causing, hike in usage. So it's all about getting to understand the technology you have, understanding how to control it and utilize it. Not talking about AI now, I'm just talking about typical timers and things like that, and actually then matching that to the best tariff to suit your actual needs. These little things could be an additional 10% saving a year.
Great. I might look at maybe getting into a small bit more detail. And, so you mentioned there about people overpaying, without realizing it. So number one failing is they don't realize when, let's say, the deal that they signed up. So somebody called to their door 12 months ago, 18 months ago, they filled in a form, they got onto a new deal and they forgot all about it. So that's any other sort of cardinal sins that people commit with utility bills?
Well, it's that and forgetting to give meter readings in, especially for gas.
Right.
And so what happens then is the supplier will estimate the meter reading, and that meter reading will inevitably typically be higher than what it actually was, and that estimate will cause there to be a very large bill. That bill creates this locked-in effect where, especially in our marketplace, we feel like we can't leave the supplier until that bill is paid. So obviously, if that bill is incorrect, then first thing we need to do is give a correct meter reading, pay for it correctly throughout the year to make sure that that budget plan is set correctly. But yeah, letting the contract roll over and then going on to standard rates, that's the biggest problem really.
Okay.
And we combat that by making sure that we automatically switch you before the end of your contract. But more than that, we check your usage throughout the year. We check the tariffs throughout the year. We match them together. And if we find a deal that suits your usage profile, we will switch you to it.
Okay.
So that's called auto switch. And we do it for you while in the background while you sleep.
We've talked quite a bit about utility bills, but also there are things like broadband services, phone service and all. A lot of people get taken by deals because they like an aspect of the provider. It could be a sports channel, it could be a movie channel, who knows?
Yeah. Mobile phone signal.
Mobile phone signal.
One,
yeah. I mean, like that. Can that be a greater driver for, staying put over the...
Yeah, it can. And in particular, like for example, where I live, I only get signal on my mobile with one provider. So I am forced to go with that person or that company. Now, the difference here is to pick up the phone and to negotiate with them.
Okay.
And although that, like, they don't know that there's necessarily no signal in your house, so why not give them a little challenge to see if they can match someone else's rate and cost.
Yeah,
it might cost you a bit of time and effort, but it would be worth it in the end.
Worth the phone call.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, could we just take a look now at? So we know we've got a problem. We know that a lot of people don't deal with it, and a lot of people see it being challenging, difficult. So many different plans. Do you use dual gas and electricity? Do you bundle your phone, your broadband, and all the rest? So could you just walk us through how does OneBill.ie use AI differently, and ultimately, how do you provide better value?
Yeah, so basically what OneBill does is it aggregates all of your information together and it creates a usage profile, and that's our usage algorithm. So the usage algorithm is a personalized profile that lives in our system that is constantly run and calculated against every other tariff on the marketplace. So when we find a better deal for you, that algorithm will basically notify us and we will trigger a switch to a better supplier, to a different supplier, or something along those lines. So that algorithm uses AI to fetch the deals from marketplace, to fetch your utility data, and it aggregates it all into one place, runs that calculation, and there's thousands of calculations that are happening on a daily. And once that happens, we then know whether you're on a good rate or not. Bundling, not bundling, that's not always a necessary driver. You can get good deals independently and you can get good deals bundled as well. Again, it comes down to the contract. I always advise people don't enter into long contracts because you don't know how the market's going to change. You don't know who's going to get acquired. You don't know if the new entrant's going to come into the marketplace. So go for the shortest possible contract you can. If you are unhappy with price volatility, try and get a fixed deal with a stable price. Try and avoid prices that start cheap for 6 months and then spike for 12 months. You're going to be trapped in that, and it's extremely expensive to get out of them. So try and avoid things like that. Keep your contract simple.
Those are they just gimmicks, really? I mean, are they just marketing gimmicks?
They are getting their money at the end of the day. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So we would always favor the minimum term of contract and the most stable payment option available. Ideally, the same payment for 12 months, fixed.
Okay.
So that would be the kind of thing that we would go for, particularly for broadband and telecom, that kind of product.
So a fixed payment contract, I mean, from a budgeting, and we're going to talk about this in the context of the wider financial planning conversation in a moment, but your offering is generally a fixed 12-month payment?
It really depends. It's case by case. So if you came to me and you said, Adam, I've got solar panels, battery, a heat pump and an electric car, my choice of contract would be completely different to the next person. So it really is a case-by-case basis. It's the same for your phone. Like if you have 4 mobile phones in the house and broadband and TV and the sports channel, that's different. So we could aggregate lots of different products together to give you what you need, or you have to go to one supplier and try and get it all from one for a good deal. But again, it's what's out on the market, who's giving you the budget, who's giving you the discount.
Yeah,
that's why the market is so up and down. That's why we use AI.
and if you were to look at individuals who are maybe listening into the call here today, so they might be looking at, let's say, their gas bill is going to come to the end of a deal in February.
Yeah.
Their mobile phone contract is up in June. Their broadband is up in August. So they could be coming up at different times during the year.
Yep.
How do you navigate around that in terms of putting a new package together for them?
So for us, our membership is €100 a year, and that covers you for the whole year. So we will be by your side for that entire year, and hopefully the following year and the year after that. And we will just continuously monitor all of your different services that you have with us. So it doesn't matter when your contract end date is. One could be different to the other, could be different to the other. It doesn't matter. We will treat them all individually, and we will look for aggregation and combination opportunities for discounts, but only if they're worth your while. So we work for you directly. We don't take commission from suppliers, which means that when we make a decision on your behalf, it's for your financial benefit.
Okay. So let's just walk through the simple steps. So somebody listening to the call here today, they get in touch with OneBill.ie.
Yep.
What do you ask of them?
So the first place to start is the bill. So we will build the best usage profile from real data. So first thing we need is a bill. So head to OneBill.ie, grab a bill. PDFs usually work best because they have more data on them, and they can be multiple pages. Upload the PDF straight to the box on the website and put in your phone number and your email address and click process. That will be read by AI, and we will try and combine everything we can to get the best deal there and then for you. And we will do that calculation, bring it to the screen, and we'll say what we think we can save you. That will be followed up by a call from one of our team, and we will delve deeper into that. That's the human in the loop side of things. And we will see if that deal was correct. We'll see if the AI read it properly. And we'll also see, should you be on a different rate? Is there a better car rate or a better solar panel rate that you should be taking advantage of? That's that point that we do that. Once you're happy with that, you sign up, we do the rest. You never need to switch again.
So that would be with one bill. So let's say that's their electricity bill.
Yeah.
So they do the same with their gas bill, their mobile phone bills.
Yeah, you can upload all your bills into that same box at the same time, and it will read them all simultaneously.
Okay.
So gas, electricity, broadband, throw them in there, upload them, and we'll come back to you.
And you pay your €100 fee upfront,
and that then we look after you for the year. So that makes sure that we're independent, that we're not biased by moving you from one supplier to the other because one's paying a larger commission than the other or anything like that. It's all about you and what is going to cost you the least, or what's going to be the most appropriate solution for what you have.
And can I still get, access to my bills after I sign up? Can I get my usage data same as I normally would? Do I lose any of that kind of control contact?
No. So what happens is we sit in between yourselves and the supplier as a agency, so a utility management agency. So you're still signed up with your new supplier. So if you want to download the app for their usage, for their own, and you want to add your consumption, you can still do that via their app. So if we move to company A or B, that's fine. You can still access all of your data there. You still will get your bills from them, and you will still pay them. So that doesn't change. We just do the monetary calculations and the analytics on top of it.
Sure. So you're not going to get into submitting meter readings or anything like that.
You can submit meter readings on our portal, yeah. So we do that in one place. You can do that, and then we'll submit it onto ESB networks and gas networks Ireland for you, and that will make sure that the information is pushed straight to the network.
Sure.
Yeah.
The question everybody on this call is going to be asking is, I'm paying €100 per year for this. What typically are you saving in?
Yeah, again, every case is different, but our average is about €1,096. So now that's for dual fuel and a broadband. So if we look at gas, electricity and broadband, last week our record was 6,400 and something. So it was quite high. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And is it all for individuals, or do you work on behalf of businesses?
We do businesses as well, and we offer energy solutions for businesses too. It's not quite as algorithmic as residential is, because the marketplace is very different. The tariff structure is very different, and we do have to go and negotiate the deals to make sure that actually suits the commercial entity. So we do that as well, but not on the website like we do there. So if you have a business, then you can get in touch, and we can look at energy solutions for you for them.
Great. So like on this show every week, we talk to people about smart personal financial planning, and people come to us in using the askpaul.ie website to arrange a personal financial planning consultation.
Yeah.
Where do you think a utility bill would fit into good personal financial planning?
Well, it's one of those things that you either need to manage proactively, or you need to proactively try and get rid of entirely. And that way, that gives you more money or more cash flow freed up to do other things like your investments and financial planning that end. So not being on the correct tariff is an extremely expensive, you're just throwing money away, basically. Yeah. So what we try and do is we try and achieve net zero for our customers. So we work with a network of partners around the country, solar panel fitters, heat pump fitters, electric car chargers, those kind of things. And we try and optimize systems and combine them with tariffs to get people to a net zero bill if we can. And that then frees up cash flow for the customer. Now, it might mean a little bit of investment up front. It might mean that you've already got a system and there might just be some tweaks to it. But ultimately, we're trying to work aggressively to get that customer's cost down to zero.
Very good. And in terms of the just no doubt, if you're achieving those kind of savings, I can see them fitting into your plans in terms of, using it to put some family protection cover in place through life insurance, or maybe adding to your pension contributions, or, into some sort of a regular saving investment plan as well. Lots and lots that can be done there. And it's just waste, really, isn't it? So just coming towards the end, Adem, and just thinking ahead about where, I loved what you said there about really integrating all of our planning into what can be done in relation to, use of solar panels and so on, and really benefiting from that. And it really sounds like a very integrated approach you're taking overall. Where next for OneBill.ie?
So we're aiming to become an all-in-one financial app that helps you aggressively manage your money and aggressively save you money. So what we're trying to ultimately get to is a point where the solar panels that generate you power and give you your energy independence will ultimately be able to start paying off your mortgage and pay off the principal of your mortgage debt. That will in turn give you, less accrual of interest and less costs for the rest of your life, essentially. So yeah, that's where we're headed towards. That's what we're trying to achieve. That's our 3 to 5 year kind of nirvana goal, if we can get there.
Lovely. Yeah, it sounds very, very such a positive organisation that you work for, and really helping a lot of individuals who so badly need help in this regard. Not something to be afraid of. Definitely something worth investigating. Finally, Adem, just the smart next step that individuals should take from today?
Well, the first thing you need to do is just take action. Don't sweep it under the rug. Grab a bill, head to OneBill.ie. There's people there to help you. Even if it's not us, there are plenty of people out there who will help you with this. So, take control of those finances. Don't sweep it under the rug, and be in charge of what's to come.
Yeah, saving €1,000, something that should be definitely appealing to a lot of people on this call, particularly in this miserable month of January that we're all experiencing so far. Adem Ergen from OneBill.ie, really appreciate your time here today.